Good morning. Yesterday, I tried to make a video or audio about trust issues, and I totally messed up. In my head, it seemed fine. The expression laisser tomber quelqu'un roughly means when someone quits on you. And I kind of develop um, from that. But apparently, in English, when you drop someone as an infant, it means an insult to the person and their parents. And I was like, whoa. Once I checked, I should have checked online, right? In Portuguese, it's similar to the French. Both languages are actually very similar, strangely enough. But anyway, in English, it means an insult. So I was like, nah, that doesn't sound right. I'm going to take out the video. You know, anyway, this morning I wake up and I start listening to the internet, what's going on, and someone is talking about their experiences as an actor. And they mentioned they had to separate from their newborn baby to work. And I'm like, okay, here we go again. Another child is going to suffer from trust issues. Its mother, is a famous actor and went out for a gig and left the baby alone. When these situations happen, the baby will definitely think something is wrong with the baby or something is wrong with the world or both at the same time. This is the beginning of trust issues, in my opinion. Well, we're talking about a newborn baby, but trust issues can develop actually even before the baby is born. I'm not a doctor or a specialist in anything. This is some information I picked up. It might be bullshit, but it kind of strikes a chord of reason and logic within. So I think there's some truth to it. There was this Frankenstein, type of doctor that decided to traumatize pregnant women, and he figured he could induce trauma, different types of trauma in children, depending on which trimester he did the trauma. But overall, trust issues was a common thing. Traumatizing a pregnant mother would give birth to a child that simply didn't trust anything or anyone. Probably become a skeptic, hardcore skeptic for life. So uh, the embryonic fluid is, you see, when the baby is inside the uterus, it's in this protective dimension, so to speak. It's not yet of this world, but it's uh, it is it has the potential. It's almost like a seed of a tree. It has the potential of becoming a tree, and that potentiality gets actualized when it's out of the uterus. So whilst it's still in the uterus, it is connected to the mother through the umbilical cord, where it gets feed, nutrients and minerals and fat and everything required, for the normal growth. And the body is, in these waters, the embryonic fluid. And it is through this fluid that goes through the mouth to the lungs. So depending on the vibrations that are produced by mother or father, the baby's going to pick them up. You see that the embryonic fluid will vibrate, and for the first time the baby will taste what love, hate, and all those things are, whilst still inside the uterus. So if you put the mother to certain situations, the baby's going to feel it too. Although his eyes are not working or ears, but he can taste. emotions, he or she, right? So, like I was trying to, talk about, remember that experience. If you traumatize a woman, the baby will feel it, the baby will know. So, during the birth, right, the baby normally would have to, when the waters break, the baby would have to go through the birth canal. And I've heard that the flora in the birth canal is very important for the immune system. That's when the skin of the baby, because the baby is in this isolated area, right? The first thing it will come in contact with, it will be the flora in the birth canal. Our skin functions like a sponge. All right. You don't have to drink water to get sick. If you bathe in dirty water, right, your skin will absorb it. That's also a way into reinforcing your your system, your immune system. You know, swimming in dirty water. Anyway, uh, so the skin absorbs, and it will be important for the baby if it's born through a C-section. Uh, that's a really bad, start in life, I would say, because you want to have access to those essential, flora and microorganisms and bacteria, etc., that exists in the canal. So they've noticed that children who are born through C-section, they have a more debilitated immune system. If you believe in an immune system, because some people say it doesn't exist. There is a lymphatic system, yes, but something that controls everything, I don't know. The body is this marvelous piece of engineering, and we are just grasping, just the 1%, and the 1% is huge. It is actually through the study of the human body that we developed technology, how to fly, how to see better, televisions, the car engine. Everything is replicating the human body. The human body is the unit of measurement as well. Anyway, it's where geometry mathematics comes from. It's from the study of the human body. um, so the embryonic fluid is something very important for the immune system. And when the baby is born, uh, it is said that well, that's how people in the past used to do it. Actually, it's only in modern times that we don't do it. The baby has to stay in mother's arms for the next hours, days, without showering or cleaning or anything. And the umbilical cord, you have to, cut it like 20 centimeters, from the baby, and just let the umbilical cord dry out. It will dry out and drop. Those 20 centimeters would be essential for the baby, because the baby is also tired from the whole experience, and there's tons of nutrients and minerals still in that cord, that 20 centimeters that you have left. So just let nature run its course. The Those 20 centimeters will be essential for the baby. you know Animals used to eat the placenta. Mummies, after giving birth, they are tired and, sometimes lose blood, and they eat the placenta, which is full of those growth hormones, etc. It will rejuvenate even a dying person, you know. So animals instantly eat the placenta and the rest of the umbilical cord. Humans ought to do the same. I was just listening to this guy talking about his home birth. He didn't went to the hospital. He's a natural, type of person. And he said after the birth, his wife was a little bit debilitated because she lost a bit of blood and tired. And a thing that she asked was liver. Right after the birth, she ate some raw liver. If you have blood, related issues, try eating raw liver. It will rejuvenate your blood like in an instant. You know. Anyway, um, so the baby has to stay in mother's arms for the next hours or days. There's a chemical and emotional bond that's going to be created during that time. Yes, almost like a Wi-Fi connection. Okay, using an analogy. What happens is mother will instantly know when baby is hungry or wants to poop or wants to sleep. I mean, sleep, I think it's probably most of the time. So when baby wakes up, even if mommy is some meters away, she'll know what's going on. Call it mother instinct. It's almost like an Wi-Fi connection. And that connection will become a lot more refined if the baby stays from these very important first hours in the mother's arms to form this connection. Parents, I mean, the father also can have this if he, stays together. There's this thing called bioresonance. It's almost like a biological Wi-Fi connection that happens between humans because and of course modern scientists they discredit this idea. It's just not possible. No, it can't be. Well, they have to discredit it, otherwise their models just collapse. Their models and their bullshit just collapse, so they can't even. So for instance, there's no such thing as transmittable transmissible pathogens. Okay, let me have a sip of coffee. There's no contagion at all. Bug A is not going to jump to person. That doesn't happen. What happens is a biological resonance. Because all of those bugs they say cause disease are present in all people, but they are not activated. They are potential, but they have to be actualized. And it's this bioresonance that activates them. It's almost like a signal from the bee queen, that gives to the beehive, okay, prepare yourself, something's coming. Everybody, intuitively, knows what to do. And this is what's going on. When someone gets quote unquote the flu, it means the weather is changing. The mucus in the respiratory tract has to change, has to adapt. Our body has to adapt to the new environment, and some people require to go through the process of the flu, which is an emergency cleansing, and others around get triggered by this bioresonance. It's not a bug that jumps at all. It's a biological resonance. And anyway, when the expression about the expression good vibes, yeah, it's true. Good vibes or bad vibes. You can pick this up if you are the type who uses intuitive reasoning. If you use intuitive reasoning, you understand these things. But if your axiology is different and you have to count and measure things, then it's going to be, or you understand the world only through concepts, then it's going to be difficult for you to pick up these things. But if you use as your axiology intuitive reasoning, I mean, these things are pretty easy to understand. But anyway, so if you separate the child from the mother right after birth, like they do in hospitals, the child will feel like it got abandoned. And then it's in the care of these strangers with rubber gloves, doing all these crazy things. And then later, I don't know how long later, I never witnessed one of these things. They reunite both of them. Yeah, the child just went through a traumatic experience. not only just got born into this realm, which is a very hellish realm, then it had to go through the hands of strangers. And often, in some places, they even do, what's it called? When they mutilate the genitals. I can't remember right now. They mutilate the genitals of baby boys for some reason. It's crazy. Should be illegal, but religion, it has nothing to do with the hygiene or biology at all. It has to do with religion. Anyway, I have my ideas about that. Because a man who's circumcised, or there you go, that's the word I was looking for. Because a man is circumcised, he will feel less. So when he's doing sex, he's gonna endure last longer. He's gonna need 10 times more, and it's gonna thrust a lot more to feel something, you know. And then I started thinking, this sounds like what a feminist would have liked. You know, you can see when a religion is turned to the adoration of the feminine, they call it the sacred feminine, I mean, or the divine feminine. I mean, calm down, don't start going those places. Divine, come on. That's hubris. But anyway, um yeah, that should be illegal. The reverse also happens. They also mutilate, the clitoris. I don't know what the name of that one, but it has a weird name as well. But why? To stop people from masturbating. A circumcised man won't masturbate as well. It's going to be very difficult to masturbate. And the woman without clitoris as well. It's kind of to force people to get together as well. It's a religious thing. Why does it exist? Multiple reasons. None of them are good, actually. Anyway, I've been talking for 20 minutes. I'm still half asleep as well, drinking coffee, so this is going to take a while. And I'm sorry for that. So, the child is going to have feelings of abandonment early on if it's, treated that way. Uh, Another way that happens that children will feel abandoned is when medical leave stops. Some places is 2 weeks of medical leave. I think it's Switzerland. It's 2 weeks. It's crazy. No wonder the you know I can't even say this word without getting problems. I'll just say people choose to leave the world prematurely. It's very high in that country because they are just sad and they don't trust each other. When the medical leave ends, mommies abandon their children in the hands of strangers. The child will think something's wrong with them or something's wrong with the world. From that moment on, they won't trust anyone or anything. They'll have trust issues for the rest of their lives. This will have an impact when peer bonding, when they are, adults. This is why there's why marriage is going out of fashion and everybody just practice hookup culture, because anyway they can't, even if they get pregnant they can get rid of it. And everybody just take pills to castrate themselves. you know those are the side effects of these practices. The system actually wants you to behave this way because the system that we have now, they are interested in another cog for the system. They want to turn you into units of production. They don't care if you have a mind or not. They just want units of production. There's another attack caused by the needlecraft. Yes, now they are proposing needlecraft babies. They really, really want to sever the connection between the parents and the children and the connection to the divine, the connection to the soul. They want to sever it with the use of needlecraft. Again, with all this is for the purpose of having a meat golem. A golem is, it's this thing like a homunculus. It's this thing that has no will and it does everything it is told. There you go. That's what they want. The needlecraft is for that purpose. Well, it's also for the purpose of getting rid of the undesirables, if you catch my drift. Now they are trying to, with this new RNA bullshit, to target, to target specific groups of undesirables. It's crazy. Now, we live in a pathological world. There's no getting around. The demons, quote unquote, that are in charge of the world for a long time. And when humans are isolated, then again, you see, when you have a system that its purpose is to spread, and take over. The system, they can't fathom the idea of having tribes still living in the wild. They can't let them be. They have to go and take them over. There was this tribe called the Nenет tribe on the Siberian, tundra. They've been relentlessly trying to put them in houses. Oh, but it's better for you. Here's a TV. Here's a house. It's better for you than to be free. And they, give them money. In the beginning, they give them, all these things to seduce them. And I saw the faces. I saw that in their faces, they were extremely unhappy. I don't know if they were coerced or seduced into giving up the nomad life, but I could see in their faces they were unhappy. Living in these boxes, looking at the TV, and probably receiving money. They just can't coexist while someone else is free. They just can't. That's when you see the nature of this world, of this parasitic, inhuman thing that has taken over the world. Why can't just let them be? They can't. This happened during this clash of civilizations, you could call it. I wouldn't call it civilizations. This clash of values uh, all over the world, and the populations who lived in harmony with the elements got all crushed. They got all crushed. Anyway, trust issues is a weapon used by the system as early as possible to turn people against each other, to divide and rule them from the earliest possible. And then, of course, put them through the indoctrination system as early as possible. I'm going to read a little bit from Thomas Sowell. He said, each new generation born is in effect an invasion to civilization by little barbarians who must be civilized before it's too late. Of course, he's talking in metaphor. It's not being literal. What he's saying is every new generation, is full of possibilities, right? They can grow, they have unlimited possibilities. So one of those possibilities is for them to turn into delinquents, right? So civilization kind of has to step in and and civilize them, so to speak, before it's too late, because they might become antisocial, delinquents. And this is what some politicians want, actually, when they promote the welfare state and want women to be single women, because then they can step in and help them, quote unquote, take care of these children. They put them in these, places of indoctrination, and are able to program them to becoming units of production. But of course, during this process, there's going to be some who are going to revolt against everything and become delinquents. So, anyway, I think I'm going to shut up now. Have a nice day.